Graham Morris.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and it's an honour to follow the honourable gentleman, the member for Ayr, Carrick and Cumnock. I want to thank the honourable member for Ayrshire and Arran for securing this important debate. I might say I was rather disappointed she used the opportunity to bash the Labour Party, and with all due respect I would like to point out that had we won the election in 2017, my right honourable friends for Hayes and Harlington and Islington North, I'm sure can confirm, this would have been settled. And had the SNP not lost 13 seats to the Conservatives, we wouldn't be having this debate. We would have delivered justice for the WASPI women and for the miners who are desperate to have pensions justice. But anyway, notwithstanding moving swiftly on, I want to extend my personal appreciation to the dedicated women of the WASPI campaign who've tirelessly campaigned for nearly a decade for fair and timely compensation for the 1950s women affected by the DWP's maladministration. I might say I don't recognise the criticism of these benches. I know personally, and many members who are sitting here, I think I've raised WASPI cases on 25 occasions in 12 different debates. And I well remember a debate in the Westminster Hall where members were sitting on the windowsills. It was so crowded. So every effort's being made to bring this injustice to the public and to the government. In particular, Mr Deputy Speaker, I want to thank the Sunderland, the Durham and the Hartlepool WASPI groups who have worked diligently and assiduously in my Easington constituency. I've had the pleasure of meeting and working with these remarkable women over the past decade, and I'm full of admiration for their dedication and selflessness. In my Easington constituency, there are around 5,000 WASPI women, and they've been waiting patiently for the final Ombudsman's report that was published in March. I'm appalled, frankly, that the DWP refuses to comply with the report's recommendations. And this unprecedented response undermines the Ombudsman's authority and credibility. May I say the House of Commons Library found no other instances of a government department rejecting an Ombudsman's findings. The DWP must own its mistakes, apologise to the 3.8 million women affected, and swiftly deliver adequate compensation. There's no doubt the DWP failed to notify 1950s women of their state pension age change and now denies their wrongdoings, highlighted by the PHSO. Ignoring the Ombudsman's findings sets a dangerous precedent, allowing the government departments to evade accountability. And I think, Mr Deputy Speaker, as MPs, we have a responsibility to ensure government establishes a mechanism for redress. The urgency is critical. I don't want to rehearse the statistics because they've been said many times. But the 1950s women are dying in numbers now because of the age profile. In March, the Secretary of State promised an update on the matter, and as far as I'm aware, we still haven't got a date. We're still awaiting that further update. The government's standard delay tactics, evident in cases like the Mine Workers Pension Scheme, the contaminated blood scandal, the Post Office Horizon, and now the WASPI women, must end. The impact of the state pension age rise on these women with little or no notice is profound. The APG on state pension inequality for women, chaired by my honourable friend for Salford and Eccles, highlighted that women felt worthless, ignored and disempowered, leading to severe mental health issues and, in some very sad cases, suicide. There's no doubt the DWP's maladministration has caused immense stress. This evidence aligns with the PHSO's Level 6 emotional injustice definition, warranting compensation of up to £10,000. The government has saved, and other members have quoted it, £181.5 billion by accelerating the raising of the state women's pension age, So compensating WASPI women up to £10,000 would cost around 36 billion. This is a fraction of the savings accrued by the Treasury to date. Testimonies from the APPG and my constituents who I met quite recently, Denise McKenna and Kathleen Kerr, illustrate the severe impact. Both started work at 16. Kathy joined the British Army and Denise started work at the Inland Revenue. In their late 50s, they took early retirement due to ill health, carefully managing their finances with only a few years, they thought, to reach their retirement. Kathy and Denise, as a married couple, both WASPI women, suffered a double whammy, an immense financial loss due to the pension age change. They received no written notification of the changes. The 5-year delay to their pension meant they lost in excess of £80,000. They exhausted their life savings and were forced to sell their home. Surely, Mr Deputy Speaker, this is not how we respect those who have worked and those who have served our country. Many WASPI women, like Denise and Kathy, made significant life decisions without knowing their pension age had increased. This injustice demands financial redress. Women forced to return to work despite disabilities and pre-existing conditions highlight this government's disconnect from the realities these women face. Former Pensions Minister, the Honourable Member for Hexham, who's now a Transport Minister responsible for buses, suggested in a Westminster Hall debate in 2017 that the affected women should retrain and take up apprenticeships. Yeah, well, it was greeted with a similar reaction at the time. Ignoring the challenges of re-entering the labour market and the disproportionate caregiving responsibilities that these women bear. Successive governments have failed these women. It's our responsibility and the duty of this Parliament to right this wrong. Sadly, it's too late for over 200,000 WASPI women who've sadly passed away since the campaign started in 2015. But we cannot delay any longer. Compensation is not just financial reimbursement, but a recognition of the harm inflicted on these women. So my appeal to the Minister is this: heed the calls for justice, acknowledge the emotional and psychological harm caused by the government's decisions and the DWP's maladministrations. As representatives of thousands of 1950s women, it's our responsibility as members of Parliament to ensure justice is served. Thank you.
Ian Blackford.